How long does it take to get a trademark? Many people assume you file an application for a trademark and get approved a few days later. The actual process is a bit more complicated. Let's explore the key factors that influence the length of the trademark process. The type of trademark you are seeking can impact how long it takes for your application to get approved. The United States Patent and Trademark Office recommends that you choose to trademark from one of three categories. Fanciful trademarks are words that aren't in the dictionary. Pepsi is a good example of a fanciful trademark because that word is only associated with the soft drink company. Arbitrary trademarks have no relation to the product they're associated with. One of the most notable is Apple, since the name has nothing to do with the devices that it manufactures. A suggestive trademark would imply the services or the products that they offer. For example, the name Microsoft suggests the company sells software. It's best to avoid generic terms. You wouldn't call a fitness center, for example, simply gym. You should then check to see if the trademark is already in use. Keep an eye out for names that sound similar to yours when spoken, and avoid identical names, designs, and phrases. Plural words and those with an apostrophe could also cause confusion. You can use the trademark electronic search system to browse through a list of existing trademarks and applications. If you're set on a particular name or design and it's taken, you might have to rework your idea. In some cases, you could purchase the trademark from the current owner. However, there's no guarantee that they're willing to sell. Do your best to come up with something unique that applies only to your product or service. This can sometimes take months, but it's a necessary responsibility. The more thought you put into your idea, the easier it will be to apply for a trademark. Now, let's take a look at the distinct types of trademark-related rights. These include common law rights, state registration rights, and federal registration rights. It's crucial to understand these so you can avoid infringement. Let's explore them in detail. Common law rights apply to the first company to use the trademark. However, they aren't federal and can't be enforced nationwide. So a restaurant in a small town can only enforce its rights in that town. Common law trademarks are often difficult to enforce. You have to prove that a large number of consumers recognize your trademark as part of your brand. This means you may have difficulty protecting your rights if your brand isn't popular in the local area. As for state registration rights, each state has its own trademark database. When you register, trademark protection only applies in that specific state. The application process can differ between states. Check your state regulations so you can take the appropriate steps. Federal registration rights are the most secure. A federally registered trademark has the highest level of protection. This makes it the most effective at preventing infringement. Federal registration also supersedes state registration. If there's a conflict between two trademark owners and only one of them has federal registration rights, they have the upper hand. You don't always need federal registration to sell products or services. However, you should consider how far you plan to take your business. If you intend to stay local, state registration is the furthest you should go. If you eventually want to open multiple locations across the country, plan ahead and consider federal registration. So how long does it take to get a trademark? According to the USPTO, it takes approximately 12 to 18 months to register a trademark. This depends on current processing times and how many applications the organization needs to review. The USPTO also does not guarantee that your application will be successful. In fact, it could be refused for various legal reasons. One of the most common scenarios involves a trademark that is misdescriptive. Refusal can also occur if approval of the trademark would cause confusion with existing trademarks. If you're on a tight timeline, you shouldn't assume that you'll get your trademark approved in 12 months. Instead, anticipate it taking longer than 18 months. Some people put in work for weeks or months only to have their application denied. Hiring an attorney who offers trademark services can ensure you start on the right track. Are you ready to move forward? The team at Berkeley Law Technology Group specializes in intellectual property law. Get in touch today to get the trademark application process in motion.